Morning, everyone. It's the hobo. Look at my brand new hobo hat. Fitting, isn't it? All right, I have some backstory to the 6 planes trapped in Afghanistan. Brought to you by Glenn Beck. His Nazarene Fund was the funding behind the operation. So I'm going to get out of the way here and let you listen to Glenn and Stu discuss the details of this mission.
So the Taliban holds up Glenn Beck's group's planes, at least 100 Americans among passengers.
Okay, so you want me to take this line by line?
Let's go line by line on this.
Okay. Taliban holds up Glenn Beck's group's planes. Yes, they're holding the planes. They're not holding anyone hostage. They are holding the planes. They won't, and they're not our planes. We leased them from a company called Cam Air, which is, their Delta over in Afghanistan. We lease them.
It's the largest private airline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so these aren't private planes. These were chartered by us, but these are just regular passenger planes.
Can I just go back a couple? I know you don't like doing this, but can I go back a little bit here to when all of this was going on initially, when the funds were being raised, and reporters from places like CBS News were saying this was not happening. Just full out saying that you were not actually rescuing people.
Oh, have you seen Snopes on this?
No, I haven't seen
I saw Snopes. Somebody sent me Snopes last night, and I'm like, and they said, we can't confirm or deny if any of this is happening.
Okay.
Glenn Beck says it's happening.
Okay.
He says he's renting these planes. He says he's raised $22 million. No, I say $35 million now. And it wasn't me, it was the audience. So give credit where credit is due.
Yes. And they also, though, were saying this wasn't happening because you would, how could you possibly rescue thousands of people when you're flying them in and out 6 at a time in a private jet?
That was my favorite. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Okay, that's
Glenn Beck taking private jets. Yeah. Who are ridiculous. I was going to say thousands of people. There are only six seats on those private planes.
Right. So the Cam Air is a full... It's
730 Boeing 737s and Airbus 340s.
Big. They're big.
They're big.
They're big. The big planes you see in the sky near airports. Yes. These are they.
At least 100 Americans are among the passengers. Yes, and I would just say at least. I know how many people are on. I've been asked not to give any numbers of any shape or form because the people who are actually doing all of the work have just said, shut your fat mouth on numbers. And I'm like, okay.
So can I ask for a little point of clarification here?
Yeah.
When this started, your pitch on this was always to help whoever was in need, that was vetted and safe to remove from the country, that was in danger of dying. I mean, that's how I took it.
My first pitch was to save the Christians because I assumed the United States government would be taking care of everyone else.
Oh, that was my question, because I don't remember as a priority necessarily. We always would obviously help any Americans that would be involved in this, but like, how did the Nazarene Fund...
They stopped flying what are called gray tails. They're the C-141s.
Right.
Okay. And we put some Christians and others on gray tails. Okay. When those things were flying, if we didn't have a plane and the State Department would allow us, we'd say, go there. They're going to take off soon. Just get on that plane. And so they would take gray tails, and then they would land, and we would sort them out, and we go, okay, guys, you're with us. You're over here. Okay? But once they stopped flying, there was no one getting on. And we didn't get a lot of people on gray tails. We did most of the heavy lifting here. But once they stopped, they have nothing. They have nothing. They have no assets. You want to get out, you have to come through people like us. Now, there's lots of organizations. I want to make sure that everyone gets their credit because I have a big mouth. And so we're
Breaking
getting
news, everybody.
We're getting too much credit. Others are doing astounding things as well.
Although, I don't know that you want credit right now.
We don't.
At some point in the future, it'd be nice that the audience was acknowledged for what they've done here.
That's why they keep calling me and say, shut your fat mouth.
There are 6 private charter planes seeking to evacuate these people. Are all of these planes Nazarene Fund related planes, or are there other groups?
So I don't know what Newsweek means by this. I just know that we have 4 that were on the tarmac, that this was last Tuesday, that were ready to go, and the State Department shut it down. They wouldn't give us clearance. And then the Taliban, they gave the manifest to the Taliban. Here are these people. Do you know who they are? Because we're not sure who they are. Maybe you should look at their passports and all their paperwork.
Could it be, though, that they saw something that alarmed them? Maybe there was somebody on the flight that thought was bad.
Everything goes through OFAC, which is the government agency to make sure that nothing like that happens. So we vet everyone, and then we send it to OFAC, and they look at it. Is there anyone on the list that shouldn't be flying, that shouldn't be coming over? They send it back. They say, nope, green light. Then it's got to go back to the State Department, and the State Department has the manifest, and all they have to do is just say, yep, you have our permission to take off and land. That's it. That's it. That's all they have to do. No, so we had those 4 planes, and they were held by the State Department for about a day. And that alerted the Taliban, and then they were all unloaded and handed over to the Taliban. Many of them, I don't know how many are still around. I hope every single one. I don't know how many are around. Many are in safe houses, and I like the way people are like, oh, they're in safe houses. Oh, yeah, like safe houses are just like a dime a dozen. You know, it's like, oh, you're in the safe house neighborhood over here. 7th floor, Holiday Inn. Those are safe rooms. That's not the way it happens.
It's a gated community. They're fine.
It's not
a golf course. It's going to be great.
It's not like that at all. Okay. And some of them are in those. Others, we don't know where they went. And so we will only know once we can call for those who have their phones on, because China and Russia are helping them track people. So now they have their paperwork, so they know who they are. They know the name. All they have to do is just track the phones.
So walk me through the timeline here. These people are told, okay, you're going to come here and to get on these planes. They get to the airport. Get all their paperwork is all set up. They get on the planes initially.
Yes.
They get on the planes. They're sitting on the planes, ready to take off. Then the State Department basically delays it long enough that the Taliban notices.
Yeah,
basically.
And you had 4 senators, 2 congressmen that I'm aware of. I think there were many more than that, but that I'm aware of were on the phone all Tuesday night. Let this plane take off. Let these planes go. Let them go. We know who's on the planes. You know who's on the planes. Let them take off. And they wouldn't.
So they say in the Newsweek article that one person has said that the Taliban could be attempting to shake down the airline or the State Department for money in exchange for takeoff clearance.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. And I'm sure you're going to see U.S. aid go to Afghanistan that will be shakedown money. I'm sure it will happen. And
it would have been harder to shake down the planes if they were already off the ground.
Yes.
That would have been a lot harder to do.
Yes.
But now that they're there, in theory, there could be some back and forth.
We were working on this while everyone was in Kabul. We were working on this to find other ways to get people out. And we had other ways to get them out until the State Department set up a big, huge flare. It was like,
well, State Department, they're the culprit. I think we all knew that. All right, well, there's good information. Hope you enjoyed it. This is the Hobo. I'll see you next time. Bye.